You know, as I was saying, God want to see where you are. Jesus, they say Jesus sat with sinners, was drinking with sinners. A lot of times when I first walked, I used to go to bars a lot. When I went through my first divorce, I was lonely, I was bored, but I would go to bars. I'm a black man. I grew up going to all black bars. God was like, go to that one. So I go sit in there. And sometimes I minister to people at a bar. I'm like, oh, that's what Jesus means. You're drinking with publicans and sinners. But I'm not a publican or a sinner. I am a sinner, but I'm not like them. But why am I here? Because you work for me. And I send you to some strange places. All things work together for those who believe, right? When I went to my first divorce, I'm lonely, I'm sad. I'm like, I'm gonna go to a strip club. I found God. I said, I'm gonna go to a strip club, man. Ministering in there. I'm like, what in the world? Ministers in a strip club? I make your lustful nature work for me. And then not have your lust. What? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, Lord. People are gonna be talking about me. And they talked about me. Well, why you always send me to certain type women? You know, why can't I just find a church going lady? Why can't I find a woman that's already on the right path? I didn't come call you to send the righteous, to reach the right. I mean the righteous, but the sinner. This don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. He always send me the lost people. He never send me the perfect people. He always send me the lost souls. And every soul I've met, I'm still in contact with some kind of way. And a lot of them don't hate me. Even during the time period, they hated me. They called me out my name. Houston, you ain't no Christian. A Christian don't supposed to drink. What? What you talking about? Where you get that at? It's weird how people who drink try to judge Christians that do drink. That's crazy. How you gonna talk about God with a beer in your hand? Jesus did with wine in his hand. What are y'all talking about? Y'all can't see the truth? Why you open up yet? You understand? Don't overindulge in alcohol. Have I overdosed? A few times. You understand? Have you overate before? Christians? Have you ever overate? What's the difference from that and being too drunk? I just don't understand. Why I keep saying I just don't understand? I don't understand how people can misrepresent God the way they do. Like he was just talking about drinking. He just talking about being drunken with the sinners. And then he coming. Now think about that, what that really means, what that details. As being out there, once your eyes are open, you don't feel the need to go out there anymore. Like during my growth period, I spent a lot of time in different places. I spent a lot of time at the bar. I went to the strip club. This was after I found God, because my understanding wasn't where it needed to be yet. But now that I'm starting to understand more, I don't feel the need to go to. I'm not compelled to go to the strip clubs anymore. I'm not compelled to go to the nightclubs anymore. I feel like I don't fit in. But during my time of trying to find myself, doing that, I recognize how things work. You know, how God can use you in any situation. During your growth. You understand? And some battles you lost to grow stronger. I'm talking to you now. Some battles you lost to grow stronger. To realize, hey, you can't win them all. But you're a winner through Christ. Even if you lose. Just stay grounded. Don't give up on the faith. Keep calling on God. Keep reading your word. Keep studying your word. No matter what people say about you. Like I said, I've been called all types of things. And it hurts. It hurts every time. I started realizing how powerful the tongue is. Then I still go back to my first marriage and how I was when I first found God. I'm like, whoa, I was messing up. I see why this was wrong. At the time, I didn't realize I was wrong, but now I'm like, whoa, I see why I messed up. Wow, that's horrible. For somebody to call you at your name, for somebody to falsely accuse you, and somebody to do this. You reap what you sow, people. Just because I'm a Christian, that don't mean I don't not go through the chastisement phase. I have to. Because if I don't, I will never realize the error in my ways. The errors that I caused. You know, Michael Jackson said, starting with the man in the mirror. You got to realize where you're messing up. And sometimes you're going to realize where other people mess up. But I don't play the blame. You know why I don't play the blame game no more? Because I want God to fix me. You got to learn to pray and forgive and do this and do that. And I understand that. I start understanding forgiveness. Just because you forgive, that don't mean things going to make things the way you want it. You understand? It's being real with you. Like I learned a lot from reading David's story. How him making that one mistake caused so much pain through his whole household. I realized Samson's error. But I realized Samson was just a man trying to find love in all the wrong places. And then I look at my life. Hey, Houston, you've been trying to find love in all the wrong places, but maybe they're the places I wanted you to be. Do you understand? A lot of y'all Christians don't figure it out. Why? Because y'all ain't looking from a spiritual perspective. Y'all don't realize what he say by all things. Y'all still focus on some things, but not all things. You talk about tithe and mint, but you omit the weightier matters of the law, like judgment and mercy. You should be doing the others, not let the other ones undone. You see, a lot of churches are focused on some things and not all things. A lot of them don't want to read from Revelations. I might run people away. Well, the fear of the Lord is beginning to understand it. If they don't understand the Lord's fear, they're not going to understand the Lord. You know, why is it like this? Like I said, deception, deceit. You understand? It's hard, people, but it's worth it, and it gets easier. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You know, I don't really like to talk about my business so much, but I experienced a lot of verbal abuse with my last wife. I couldn't handle it no more. I done did things in that relationship I wish I would have never did. As far as hurting her. I done put my hands on her before. I have. But I'm still a Christian. And I made a mistake. And you know, Lord, God's corrected me on that. You know, the woman is the weaker vessel. But sometimes things happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you make mistakes. But realizing your error and going through it. You understand? I'm no woman beater. And I believe a lot of men that put their hand on women ain't women beaters. It just reached a point. And they lost control. And we have all lost control before. I know women that beat men, but nobody talks about that. They think that's allowed because she's a woman. No, it's not. It's not allowed. Sometimes God may allow a woman to get knocked in the face to realize you ain't a man. I'm just being real with you. Don't put yourself in a man position. You know what I'm saying? Let's say if you slap your husband, right? You think he gonna get mad? You think he'll get mad if somebody else slap him? So what's the difference between you being a woman and him being a man? Don't put your hands on nobody. He said, lay your hands on no man suddenly. Lay your hands on no man suddenly. Lay your hands on no man suddenly. Sometimes you get to a point where you just want to lay hands. But then as you grow, you start seeing the routes, the escape routes. Then you won't have to lay hands on nobody. You start learning how to turn the other cheek. But sometimes it's going to be hard to turn the other cheek when somebody's grilling you and drilling you and drilling you. You trying to walk away, and they following you. Men, I know y'all can relate to this. Anybody in a relationship, I know y'all can relate to this. Because never say never. I'm going to tell you something. Never say never. I would never do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, people. Don't never say never. Because I believe human beings are capable of every sin known to man. Never say never. Just call on the Lord. You know, people, it's hard out here. But it's easy. That's even confusing. It's hard, but it's easy. How that make sense? It is. Because you got the God. Some people contact you for help, or to gloat to you, or to talk about certain things to you. Then you start talking about God, they get upset. You're like, well, God must have set you on me on your mind. And I'm just telling you what I feel he want me to tell you. Now you're mad? What's wrong with you? You should call somebody else. You understand? But God didn't put it on your mind to call somebody else. Put it on your mind to call me. Or you. Do you understand? The world is weird. And guess what? He don't want you to stop talking about him. Because if they meant to call you, they're going to call you. You say what you got to say. They'll get it. Or they won't. But if they keep calling you, they want something. I realize being married doesn't mean I'm supposed to cut off everybody in my past. Because some people still need spiritual help. So I can't be with a jealous woman. One thing about it, if I'm married, I'm for you. And if people need spiritual guidance, I can't turn them away. So I can't be with a jealous woman. And I can't be a jealous man. If God wants you to minister to a man, but if you're smart, you start realizing things, and I believe for a husband and wife come into play, it is women handle women, men handle men. That's how it goes. You know, when you start thinking outside the box and going against that, that's when all kind of deception and deceit comes in. Do you understand? That's why it makes sense for a family to sit together at church. To show that you're a family. So this is it. It makes sense to have a ring on your finger. To show I'm bound to someone else. Right now, I don't have a ring on. But I got one ring on my hand. And it has the Lord's Prayer on it. But you can't really see it. It has the Lord's Prayer. That's who I'm married to. The Lord. And guess what? I got to show respect to him. And every time I look at that ring, I think about doing the things that's pleasing. It's like, what would Jesus do? Do I always do it? No. I fall short a lot of times. You know, most preachers ain't going to tell you that. Most preachers act like they got it right. I ain't got it right. I'm a sinner. But I don't use that as a cloak to sin. But I fall short a lot of times. And you're going to fall short a lot of times. That don't mean you ain't a Christian. Why was David considered a man after God's own heart? Because he continued to call on God. And if you continue to call on him, he's going to fix whatever flaws in you in his time. But when you stop, that stunts your growth. It stunts your growth. You know, the world, we live in a world that believes in all, oh, they're going through a midlife crisis. Or they cheating on their wife because this or that and this and that. Man, y'all better stop making excuses. You did it because you wanted to. He said sin is produced when you are drawn away by your own lust and enticed. It ain't got nothing to do with a midlife crisis. Got to do with your insides. You wanted to do it. Then you try to get justified. Well, I'm just going through some things right now. Who ain't going through some things? That ain't no reason to cheat. Ain't no reason to commit adultery on your husband or your wife because you're going through some things. No, you're going through some lustful nature. You gave into your lust and it conceived. Now you're trying to rectify it and make an excuse of why you did it. And then expect the other person to just go along with it. They might not. But God ain't going to keep you a fool forever. If somebody misusing you, he know what's best. Whether it be physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, whatever it is, you call upon God, he going to fix it. One way or the other. He might fix the whole situation. He might remove you from the whole situation. It's different for everyone. Because everybody has a different purpose in regards to serving the Lord. And God knows what you can handle. And he knows when to take you out of a situation. You know, sometimes he take you out of a situation to cleanse it. Sometimes he take you out of a situation to reveal it. Sometimes he take you out of a situation to protect you. Why he do it? I don't know. He knows. I don't question him in regards to certain things. I used to. And certain things, I just go with it. You know, you got to. Father knows best. Father knows best. When you think you know more than the Father, it's a problem. I don't know more than him. You don't either. You know, I'm just in a talkative mode today. It's probably my 4th video, or 5th, I don't know. Just going with the flow, man. But I like to talk to people regularly. You know, as a regular man or regular woman. You know, talk. Closed mouths don't get fed. And closed mouths can't feed. Do you understand? The most powerful thing in the world is the tongue. And the most deadly. Be careful how you use it. You understand? Like I said, marriage is honorable among men. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing. That is true. But guess what? Trial and error is a mug. But you're supposed to be seeking after it no matter what. Oh, I don't date men no more because every relationship I had with a man was wrong. Wait. I'd rather date a woman now. What? That don't make no sense. You think you're going to have a problem with another woman? You're going to have a problem with them too. So if you wouldn't argue with a woman, you might well stay here arguing with a man. What's the difference? You're doing it because you're on lust. That's what you wanted to do. Go for the men too. You wanted to do that. Don't blame what somebody did to you for the reason why you are you are. I told you the solution. Be born again. Give your life to Christ. He'll start fixing your flaws. Whatever it may be. He's going to do it. And it's time. If you believe and have faith. But if you start believing your own imagination, that's a deadly place to be. Oh, God is okay with this. God is not okay with sin. No form of God is okay with sin. Not the Holy Ghost, not the Son, and not the Father. They are not okay with it. Don't get that in your mind. God's okay with me doing this. Okay, God's okay with you cheating on your wife. God's okay with you cheating on your husband. God's not okay with that. God's okay with you stealing. God's okay with you using people. God's okay with you being a liar. God's okay with you being a gossiper. God knows who I am. You ain't understand what I said. God likes how you are. But there's certain things he got to change. You understand? And how you are still need to line up with his word. Does it make sense? I'm just being who God called me to be. Well, God called you to be a certain way according to this word. It can't go against it. Do you understand? It can't go against what's written. And then you be like, well, it's justified because God loves me. Well, in that case, Satan will still be in heaven. But he's not. Why? Because he rebelled against God. And he went against what? His word. He went against God. What happens when you go against God? You lose. It's common sense. He said God is angry with the wicked every day. So if I do wickedness, he's mad at me. If you do wickedness, he's mad at you. But you know, if you sin, you know we have an advocate through the Son to the Father that is faithful to forgive our sin. So you got to recognize your sin, ask for forgiveness, repent, and try not to do it again. Does it make sense to you? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you can't expect something to happen, a change in regards to it. Like I said, you can't abuse the privilege of forgiveness and think you have no consequence to your actions. You understand, people? We all have consequences. Every choice we make yields an outcome. That's all I got today, man. I can keep talking to you forever. But just I hope you take these videos as for what they are. You understand? I'm not perfect. I don't want to be. Some of my imperfections keep me on the right ground. It keep me from being so hard on other people. Have a blessed day.